Hey, this is Kit Cabell of hardlensmedia, still covering the Veterans for Peace rally here at the United Methodist Church here in the city of Chicago. I'm joined here with Eric Garcia. Thank you so much for joining hardlensmedia. So, in our Facebook live stream that we were sharing on our page, essentially you were mentioning the crisis that's happening to veterans who are immigrants and are currently being deported. What is the current number of veterans who are immigrants that have been deported throughout the years in the United States?
It's estimated. There's no hard facts because not all of this is actually monitored, but it's estimated over 2,000 United States veterans are currently living in northern parts of Mexico after being deported from the United States.
And so far, are there any services assisting those veterans or their families? What has been the outcome of those veterans being removed from their families? Because that has to be a huge impact on the whole social structure.
Of course it is, and unfortunately the United States is not having any kind of help to negotiate these veterans who are basically in a foreign country. A lot of these veterans are raised here in the United States, and when they're deported to Mexico, they've lived their whole lives in the United States. They don't even speak Spanish anymore. They don't have any more connections to family connections to Mexico anymore. So they're basically pushed out on their own across the border. There is a known organization, a tiny little commune, if you will, there in Tijuana, Mexico, where fellow veterans have been deported, have come together to help and support each other. But there's no real help coming from the United States at all. The only benefit that the United States is offering these veterans that have been deported is when they die, they can come back to the United States to be buried.
And so far, has there been any kind of attempt by maybe international sources or resources to at least help these people who've been displaced? Has there been any kind of help from the local state legislators? Has there been any kind of coalition to really help these people who have gone far beyond the service of protecting this country and now being just displaced into another country? It just seems unthinkable. Is there any organization that's working to do this?
Now, I might not be the correct person to be answering this question because I'm not aware of any other organizations that's in support of these expatriates who have been deported. And I'm sure there's some kind of network out there. I know that there's families that are really concerned about their loved ones who have now been deported, but I am not aware of any organization.
And going forward now, what are your concerns in regards to recruitment attempts that are happening in inner city? Large inner cities like Chicago or New York or Los Angeles. I mean, do you think anyone really takes into account of the human costs of when they go into recruiting people in low-income neighborhoods?
Unfortunately, recruiters are like car salesmen, and they're promising riches, they're promising health care, they're even promising citizenship to the undocumented. And unfortunately, no matter how many foreigners you kill overseas, you're still not going to get citizenship. These are horrendous lies that recruiters are promising to young youth who are vulnerable, who are looking for ways out of harsh conditions, who are looking for access to education and money, and they go in with these promises from these recruiters who have told them these stories that they're going to be nationalized citizens one day, that they're going to be taken care of, and then they turn around. I mean, while they're fighting overseas, their loved ones are being deported, and then unfortunately, when they're coming back to the United States, there's a possibility that they can be deported. So it's a tragic situation.
And in regards to Veterans for Peace, how did you join this organization, and what do you think its overall message will be in the years to come?
I'm relatively new to Veterans for Peace. I joined last year after a buddy of mine, a fellow veteran, had told me about it, and it's been a tremendous impact on me. I finally realized how much influence veterans have. After participating in Standing Rock, going out to the Dakotas last year, I really understand the true power, the presence of veterans have. They have this experience that no one else has, and no one can question what they've done prior because of that. And we have a tremendous voice that can really move things. So I really have high hopes for what Veterans for Peace can do in the future for different social movements.
All right, and in regards to the displaced veterans, where can our viewers go online to maybe help out the families or even those displaced veterans via social media, or is there like a website that they can go to help donate or volunteer?
You know what? I wish I had at the top of my head some kind of website or information to give you. Unfortunately, I'm ill prepared, and I'm ashamed to say that I don't have anything to give you.
Would there be anything be found on the Veterans for Peace a website?
Yes, Veteran for Peace actually has some really great articles in their publications that came out a couple of months back, specifically about the veterans who are holding down support in Tijuana, and also current issues about local veterans like Miguel Perez, who is being deported right now here in Chicago.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining Hardlens Media, and to all our viewers, peace, everyone.